happy 80th, Stu. How awesome that you can celebrate the 80th birthday, remembering some of the morning zoo antics that we did, and it was so much fun. I just think some of the things that came to mind were the radical clothing that we had, that we all wore. Brian, I think, still has his. I wish I'd kept some of mine. And Disneyland trips that we went on. How much fun it was just to get out of the station and just have fun. I think it was Splash Mountain or something, one of them that we did together in Disneyland. Who would have known that I'd end up working for Disney for 5 years after that, a few years later. I remember Jukebox Johnny's, I think it was, and we would go into people's houses and have breakfast with them, bring breakfast there so that we could actually sit down with the listeners, which was really kind of fun too, getting to find out what they were all like, some good, some bad, lots of stories. Then we did the most outrageous stunt, and there were so many crazy ones. I remember one of them was some guy could put spaghetti through his nose and it came out the other side. Then at one point we had a horse come into the studio. How we got this horse in the studio, I'll never know. And there was a lot of other ones, and they were so much fun and kind of hard to coordinate. But Stu, you were always such a big part of all of that. And Constable Bob, oh my gosh, Constable Bob was such a big piece of the show, and people identified with him. And of course, we never wanted anybody to know that it was actually you, Stu. Then I think of going to the Cecil, of course, for our lunch meetings on Friday, and how much fun that was, and how there was so many laughs. And that to me was the whole show prep thing of what we would do for the next week. And you guys were so incredibly creative. And Constable Bob always had the funniest things to say, and what great team effort with everybody. And then I did things like making you go with 10 kids to New Kids on the Block in a limo, if you remember that one. I don't think anybody liked me for that one, but it was a pretty good promotion. Then the other thing that I just will always remember is you and Darlene together. What an amazing match, and how much fun you had and how much joy it brought you. So happy, happy birthday. Thank you for allowing us to share it with you and going back memory lane. That was pretty amazing. So thank you, and thank you, Brian, for putting all of this together.
Hey Stewie, it's Millsy, just taking a break from rehearsal with Jimmy, Robert, and John Paul before we take the band back out on the road. It's going to be awesome. You'll probably want to see us. Want to wish you a happy birthday, buddy. I know we didn't get to work together, but we did get to share those incredible times in that same great building at 1006 Richards. You at the Mighty LG, me at the Fox. We got to play in baseball tournaments. We got to share beverages. We got to have great times. I hope you have a great birthday, and I wish you nothing but the best.
I was racking my brain trying to think of all of the crazy and fun things that we used to do. And you know what? I can't narrow it down to just one story. I think really it's more of a feeling. And that feeling was love. Stu, you're one of the nicest, most talented guys that I know. And I miss you. I love you. And I hope that you have a birthday as fabulous as you are. Happy birthday.
Hey, Stu. Hey, Dar. Hello, everyone there celebrating Stu's birthday. Chantel and I are very sorry that we couldn't be there to celebrate with you, Stu. But as you know, it's hockey season, and that means on any given night, I'm usually at an arena somewhere working. And tonight's one of those nights with the Seattle Kraken in town to take on the Canucks. But if I was there, Stu, I would tell you a bunch of things. First off, happy 80th birthday. We're March babies. We're March kids. And your birthday is the same date as my dad's birthday. So we had that in common. Second of which, though, is that I wanted to tell you that I have never, ever, ever had a bad day hanging out with you. You brought fun into all of the things that we did. When we did the morning show together the last 2-3 years of our radio career at CKLG, you brought fun to the job. I mean, I forgot about what fun was sometimes because I was so serious. I always just wanted to do a good job. We didn't have any listeners. It didn't really matter. But you always wanted to have fun. And you helped me bring the fun back into that and into other aspects of life, as a matter of fact, because we became friends outside of the radio station. That's the most important thing about that morning show, is that we became friends outside of CKLG and 1006 Richard Street. We hung out together. Lots of dinners with our wives, drinking lots of wine, traveling a lot together, going up to Peachland and laying on air mattresses in the pool and drinking lots of wine, and then, of course, having to have a nap, and then getting up and having a great dinner together, and then singing Chicago's greatest hits until the sun came up the next day, or hanging out on Gary Athens' houseboat in Lake Okanagan. Of course, the houseboat crashed right in front of the El Dorado when we got back. We weren't helming the ship. Somebody else was. But what a day that was, just hanging out together and giggling and laughing and having a good time. Remember the wheelchair races that we had at the Nanaimo Ferry Terminal after we spent the afternoon playing slow pitch and then going to the Hells Angels bar and drinking and playing pool with them. You brought fun to everyone's lives, and you continue to do so. So that's a gift, Stu, and please continue passing along that gift to people. So I love you, Chantel loves you, and we will celebrate your 80th together very, very soon. So have a wonderful night, and thanks for letting me say these things. Appreciate it.
Hey, Coach Ches here, wishing you a happy birthday. 80 years, wow. Well, I don't remember seeing you staggering out of Gary Taylor's at 4 o'clock in the morning with me, so probably one of the reasons you hit 80. But all the best. I remember those fond years of the Melody Ranchers or whatever they were prior to the Summertime Blues. Always a class man on and off the field. I wish you the best. Happy birthday, Stu.
Well, here we are in Rome. It's David and Maria, the sometime host of the Morning Zoo with Constable Bob, and Dean was in with Sam having a baby. I'm sure you remember that. That sound, I'll never forget that sound, Stu. We are on the Isola Tabarini, which is an island in Rome. And it's like, kind of reminds me of you, an island unto itself. There's no other Stu in the world, and there never will be. You're the only Stu that matters. Kind of like Isola Tabarini. I don't know. Anyway, love you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. By the way, Stu, I just realized that Isola Tabarini has been in existence, or at least they know that it's from 46 BC. 46 BC? Yeah, you know it's coming, don't you?
It's almost as old as you.
Hi, Stu. I just wanted to send you a personal message from me in case you forgot who I was. I do keep these pictures from days gone past, memories of what we used to do for fun. And to point out me is that little one in the corner there. And then also, I do have this that I've kept from the days when CKLG and CFox and Vern had us do our Christmas party. And he made these gowns for all the women. And it took me a while to find you in that photo, but it was the mustache, always the mustache that gave you away. Anyway, I wish you a happy birthday. I hope you look as handsome as I am gorgeous. And maybe we will connect one day, but I do wish you the best. And 80 years old, you rock, guy. I'm a little ways behind you.
What I do remember very clearly is, on many occasions, the laughter. And I'm talking about grabbing the counter, leaning over the board, holding yourself up, maybe falling down kind of laughter. You just can't contain it. It's in the pit, the darkness of your belly. And after a while, when it keeps going, you just forget what you're laughing about. But it just was contagious, and I have never laughed since those days like I laughed back then. It's just so cathartic, too. It was great. And Stu, for the most part, as I can remember, which is not that clearly, but I'm pretty sure, Stu was in the room for most of those giant laughter fits. And it was just the greatest time of my life in radio, that's for sure. So, happy birthday, Stu. Love ya.
Happy birthday, Stu. John Baudouin here. You know, one of my favorite memories was a game-winning home run that you hit for the Seafox Summertime Blues. You were so surprised coming into home plate. I think everybody just about fell over because you never hit home runs. That's why your nickname was Single Stu.
Happy birthday, Stu. Hi, Stu. I remember a long time ago when I was the newbie in the LG newsroom and I pulled the Christmas morning shift. I was feeling a little sorry for myself because it was my first Christmas away from home. But who shows up to cheer me up but you? You brought eggnog and a bottle of rum, and you sat down and we had a little visit before my next newscast. It made my day, and every Christmas when I have eggnog, I think of you. You were the best.
Hey, Stu McAllister. It's Pete Swoboda here, coming to you live from my very own private 9-hole golf condo in beautiful crime-free downtown North Vancouver. I heard you turning 80. Say it ain't so. And what a coincidence. That's the 80th shot that it took me to get that ball in the hole. Have a great one, Stu.
Stu, it's Cowie. Happy birthday, buddy. I hope you're feeling good. Take care of yourself. Miss ya.
I can tell you this about Stu McAllister. I mean, he's the kind of guy that every time you'd run into him, whether we were playing softball on the local park field or anywhere in the bowels and environs of 1006 Richard Street, you know, at the radio stations. Well, it came to pass that, as it happened with our Moffat station, that every once in a while there would be a gathering, you know, a conclave, if you will, just a bonding session between the staffs of both the AM and the FM. We'd get together. So we were given this kind of a cryptic memo to have us pack an overnight bag and be on this dock somewhere, right, at a certain time on a Saturday. And so we were all raft down there. We get on this boat, and they chug us across the strait to Vancouver Island, to I think it was Yellow Point Lodge. And whatever we got up to that time, that it all centered around a pretty good Saturday night party, if you will. And of course, us media mooks were never shy about a no-host bar. And anyhow, so we had a really good time that night, and then heading back the very next day on the boat, chugging back. It was a very different cruise going back to Vancouver, and much more somber, much quieter. And as we all rolled across there and got up and got in, we on the North Shore contingent got in a carpool to go home. So we're all there, we chugged back up, and the first place we pull up to is Stu's place. And there, on the balcony in the front of the house, is a whole bunch of Stu's friends and loved ones, you know, and Stu kind of moans from the car, oh no, I forgot about Cher's birthday, right? We were all so hungover, we just wanted to go home, go to bed, right? And the kicker here was that everybody there, man and woman, were all wearing Stu's clothes. It was hilarious. And Stu looked like he'd been shopping at Herbert R. Tarlick Jr.'s garage sale. You remember Herb Tarlick from WKRP in Cincinnati? A lot of bold prints, big lapels, and all this kind of stuff. So they're all dressed like in Stu's clothes. And so that's a laugh. And he heads off to try and perk himself up for the party. So, of course, the next stop was my place. And I get dropped off, and we're all saying on the way home, geez, poor Stu, who could face a party at this point, right? So pull up to my house, and there's my darling wife, Patty, standing on the front lawn. She's got a shovel and a bunch of pyramid cedars. I had to plant a hedge. So, kids, the moral of the story is, perfect, Petey, 100% guaranteed hangover cure, plant a hedge. Love ya.
There was a time when we thought it might be cool to hit the driving range, hit a bucket of balls. So off we went, throw the clubs in the car up to Westwood Plateau and hit a bucket of balls each. It quickly became apparent that that was a little much for us. So we decided to split a bucket of balls. After a while, maybe let's just take too much time to get to the Barnett for lunch and some light entertainment. So we just throw the clubs in the car and go right to the Barnett. A little dark in there, trying to read the menu in the dark, so the waitress would have the bartender turn the house lights up until we'd placed our order. It got to the point where we'd walk in the door and the waitress would bring the menus, the bartender would put the house lights up, the light entertainment would stop, standing there with arms folded, waiting while we placed our order for the lights to go back down, and then would continue with her performance. Good dates, Stu. Lots of good times, my friend. Happy birthday, and to many, many more.
Jay McPhail, who worked with us at 1006 Richard Street, was going to get married, so somebody thought it'd be a good idea if we, threw him a surprise party. So a suite at the Bayshore was booked, and someone from the station was going to take Jay and his wife-to-be to the Bayshore to have dinner or something with someone that they knew that had come to town. Anyway, some excuse to get them there. So day of, Stu and I show up at the Bayshore, and we had partaken of, some of the herb. Well, maybe quite a bit of the herb. Anyway, so we go into the Bayshore and we're looking for this suite, and we go down these hallways and we can't find this suite. But we're paranoid that Jay is going to see us and the surprise is gone. So we walk up and down these halls and the different floors and we can't find it. So we're walking down this one hall and we're almost at the end where the elevators are. And lo and behold, the elevator opens up and there's Jay and his dinner party people looking right at us. But we were cool. We were cool. We knew what to do. We turned around and ran like hell. All the way down the hallway. We got to the very end. Stu went to the right, which was a stairwell. I went to the left, which looked like a hallway, but it was just an alcove, just like 4 or 5 feet deep in a wall. So there I was, hidden, but I heard Jay and them coming down the hallway. They didn't apparently know where the suite was either. They couldn't find it. So they're getting closer and closer, and I'm freaking out. So they're almost there, and I stick my head in the corner, hands down by my side, bury my face, close my eyes, and hold my breath. And then they're all of a sudden, they're right behind me. But they don't say a word. And they turn around and go back down the hallway. I wait about 30 seconds, and then I zip across the hall into the stairwell. I find Stu, and I say to him, "I don't think they saw me." Anyway, we spent another 10 or 15 minutes going up and down the stairwell, peeking out in the hallway, see if we couldn't find this darn suite. And we saw some other people from the station, so we just joined them and eventually found our way to the suite. And Jay and them were already there. Jay says to us, "What the hell were you guys doing?" We all had a good laugh. Turns out Jay had found out about the party, so it wasn't a surprise after all. We all had a good laugh and we had a good time. The 7 years I spent at LG, late 70s, early 80s, I actually worked for Stu. But we became very, very good friends, and we hung out a lot together and did a lot of stuff. And truth be told, it was some of the best times of my life working there at LG with the crew, and just great times. So my friend, happy birthday to you and many more. You're one of the nicest guys I've ever met, great guy, and I wish you nothing but the best. Again, happy birthday.
Stu McAllister, happy birthday to you. The fun days when you guys kept everybody at 1006 Richard Street entertained. The wingnuts down the hall and us cool guys over at Seafox. But happy birthday to you. Wishing you all the best.
Stu McAllister, you crusty old thing. Happy 80th birthday, my friend. 80. Like, I remember working with you, and I remember saying, "Lordy, Lordy, I feel 40," and you kept saying, "I wish I did." I had no idea just how old you are. Hope you're having a wonderful time. Hope these video clips are bringing back magical memories. 2 Stews in the morning, man. That's some of the most fun I've had doing mornings. Some of the most fun at a 0.5 share rating that I can ever remember having. Stu, you are always thought of fondly by me. We had some great laughs together and some really good times making some pretty funny radio together that absolutely nobody heard. But I miss that, and I miss you. And again, I hope you have a great day and a happy birthday and many, many more.
Hi, Stu Magoo. It's Rosie. How did you make it to 80? I'm impressed. I hope you have a good one.
Hey there, Stu. Bob Rennert here. Happy birthday. A little bird told me. Anyways, let me start by saying I think you were one of the greatest news guys in radio in Vancouver, and you were definitely the king of 73-second updates. While we didn't directly work together, we did do remote broadcasts in Disneyland, and here's a picture or two. Anyways, with Glenn Lamont at your side, you guys did a tour of the haunted house, and I swear that was the funniest bit I've ever heard. I almost peed my pants. Anyways, wit like that is hard to come by. I also remember you were the fastest shortstop, and I really didn't appreciate those fastballs coming past my head when I was pitching. I do recall also related to softball, the Moffat Cup. Do you remember? I do, and I remember you having an issue with flying. I don't know if you were nervous or just didn't like the small spaces, but I do remember that you were addressing the issue with generous amounts of gravel and whiskey. And of course you passed out, and here's a great picture of you on the plane, eyes closed, ready for some shenanigans. This picture here is of course a continuation of those practical jokes. You were sleeping in your room, passed out, and the gang just plowed in and all yelled, "Wake up!" And of course, there you were. Next up, I'd like to say, with you around, you were, we had the best of times and great times, and I thank you for that. So have a great birthday, and I'll leave you with this one great picture I have of you at a Christmas party many, many years ago. Cheers, mate.
Stu, happy 80th birthday. Man, what a milestone. And, my first memory of you is still one of my best, and that, of course, was, I've told you this a million times, picking up the phone and hearing your voice, the voice I heard so many times and on the radio in high school, addressing me by name, wanting me to come in for an interview for a news job, and then actually getting hired by you and working under you. Man, you were 40 years of radio, you were probably the best boss, a total pro, such a wonderful guy, a great communicator. You told me everything I needed to know in such a nice way. And then joining you on the LG Morning Zoo and seeing that whole other side of you, the actor, the entertainer, the depth of your talent, and of course, best of all, your laugh, that infectious laugh. And man, we laughed a lot, didn't we? On the air, of course, and off the air, as we wrote in the newsroom and in the studio recording all those bits, and at our weekly Friday afternoon meetings at the Cecil. On the ice, we both played crappy hockey for the LG hockey team. We laughed when we got our asses kicked by Michael Bolton and his ball team. I'll never forget that. And through it all, Stu, you became more than just a colleague. You became a very dear friend. And I just, one of my favorite people on planet Earth. So happy birthday, Stu, and thank you for just being you.
Stu, my fondest memory of us was when we went wine tasting in the Okanagan, and you suggested I should open my own show called Whining with Marla. It was so much fun.
I think it's amazing that everybody's getting together to celebrate and bring back the 80s with Stu. Who lived a better 80s than oh, hold on. It's not celebrating the 80s? He's turning 80? Well, these may not be the right records then for, whatever. If it's a party, let's spin some vinyl to celebrate the man. I do remember when Willie and I came to Vancouver, we were, kind of brought around 1006 Richard Street, and we went into the very busy prep area of the LG Morning Zoo, and Willie and I were like, Jesus, look at these guys. They've got their whole wing of the building. How can we compete with those people? Turns out we weren't competing. We were actually, brothers and sisters in arms, and it was sure amazing to be in broadcasting in Vancouver next to the legendary LG Morning Zoo in those days, and of course, Constable Bob. I think of the LG Morning Zoo, and I think of Cheers, where every character, Norm, be like Stu. Every character was well defined. But yet Stu was willing to be many characters, any sort of character that somebody would dream up. He was ready to play the game. So I know I've gone on too long, but maybe just long enough to celebrate the 80th birthday of this fine gentleman and to join in with everybody in wishing him a very, very, very happy 80th birthday.
So I just got back from skiing, and on the way down, I was thinking about a story for Stu. You know, we played a lot of squash together, and because of our age discrepancy, I thought that I had an advantage over this guy. Well, he never gave up. You know, he still kicked the crap out of me just most games, and I usually ended up coming home with a welt on my body somewhere, usually on my butt. Anyway, I'm going to show you a picture, and I'll tell you how this happened. So here's a picture of Stu, Valerie Ambrose, and me on a boat. So the station was divided up into 4 groups. And throughout all the events that we had during the year, we would score points for whatever activity we were doing. And the 2 teams with the most points faced off in a slow pitch game. So here we are at a slow pitch game, Stu obviously playing shortstop with the magic glove, and I was playing first base. We were up by 1 run, but they had the tying run on third base, and they had a runner on first. And who should get up but Darrell Hebert, who was like the fastest guy I've ever known. This guy was short, but man, he could run. So he gets up, and he hits a grounder to Stu. So Stu grabs this thing, takes a couple of quick steps over to second, tags the bag, and then I can still see him in this crouch and this ball coming at me at unbelievable speed. And I'm thinking, Nicholson, you better catch this ball. And I did. It was catch, and then Darrell hit the bag. Well, that won us a cruise around the harbor and then a dinner out at a Greek restaurant. And the food was great. And of course, they got the belly dancer up. Well, Stu couldn't just let her be the only dancer on the floor. So he got up there, and here's a picture of Stu dancing with the belly dancer. He had magic feet. I called them happy feet or something like that. I love it. And that's our Stu. He was always dancing wherever we went, Moose Jaw, whatever. He had the happy feet. Anyway, here's to you, Stu. Happy 80th.
Stu, I know what you're thinking. Who the hell is that guy? Howie the Hitman. I know it's been like almost 40 years, right? I know you probably slept through all my shows. I mean, it was on at night. Not that you went to bed that early, but listen, congratulations. You outlived the radio station. That's a win. I'd take that. Look, many more years of health and happiness, and happy birthday, sir.
Stu McAllister. When Brian asked if we could all say something funny about Stu or one of our memories of, some of the hilarious shit that went down, I couldn't remember anything specifically. Just the general falling on the floor laughter that happened all the time for us every day. And I just want you to know, Stu, that you made such a huge difference to me. You were like the big brother, even though you were the weirdest one of us all, actually. You kept everything together in some way at the newsroom on LG 73. And we all appreciated you so much with that quiet authority that you had. And you were always, until you weren't. And then we all just cracked up into shape and did all the things we were supposed to. The things I love about you, Stu, is that you always did the weirdest shit, Nobody expected it. Just a very mundane example is when the province was there taking our picture of the zoo and you were stapling my coat to the desk. Nobody really noticed for a long time. That's the way you are, Stu. Subtly irreverently hilarious. You're also one of the foundational pieces of my life. And even though it's been almost 35 years since I left in a glorious blaze of birthing Sadie on the zoo, which I'll tell you she wasn't thrilled about when she was old enough to figure out what we'd done. And I was just 33. And it's been so long, but it's always been a highlight of my life. Those 10 years at LG 73. And you were just the guy at the end of the hall who did it all. So thank you, Stu. You've had a good life. And we've all admired your and Dar's sex life. Thank God you found her, huh? Or she found you, honestly. Doesn't matter, but boy. Congratulations on a life well lived, Stu. You're loved. And you're remembered so beautifully by so many. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Happy 80th birthday, Stu. I hope this message finds you well. Wow, 80. They say things get better with age, and you prove that. I will never forget our time together at 10:06. You really did make work feel less like work with your kindness and your laughter, always ready to try something new, and you read your live liners. Anyway, Stu, I hope you and Dar are great, and I hope you feel loved and cherished today on this super special day.
I got this email telling me that Stu McAllister is turning 80 on March the 14th, which is fantastic. I remember 80. March is going to be turning out best for you and I. On March the 21st, I get to celebrate 30 years on the air on CKUA. So we have stuff to celebrate. And I'd love to be there with you to celebrate, but I'm on the island, busy, stupid. I'd love to see you one more time, Stu. Just one more time. Thank you. Happy birthday.
Is this thing on? I've always wanted to say that,
Is this
right?
thing on?
Always wanted to say that. Stu McAllister, greetings from the north. Kate and Mike here in Edmonton.
Hi, Stu.
And we wanted to be part of this blessed event, you turning 80 years old. Our history goes back a long, long way. Hey, and good news. I'm a senior citizen in a couple of weeks myself. So
Same day.
same
It's
day,
the exact
yes.
same day.
Cosmic Brothers,
Right,
Stu.
do you remember that March
I do.
birthday party?
Yes.
Where there's like 21 people there?
Yeah, you remember that? There's lots of those great memories, Stu. We were fondly reminiscing. We were trying to think of what to talk about.
Oh, for sure, the trip to Seattle was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun with Ed
and
and
Maggie.
Maggie, Alan Chantel, Steve and Aaron. And we always wondered how Dar did what she did with those nails. I
know. It's still
mind-boggling.
mind-boggling. But it's great to be part of this, and we think of you guys. It's too bad that over the years we haven't been able to keep more in touch, but you're forever in our fond memories. Some of
Constable
the best.
Bob.
Yeah.
Does everybody know? Does everybody know that Stu is Constable Bob?
Oh, I'm sure.
I hope we didn't ruin that.
I'm sure there's YouTube video out there.
I hope we didn't ruin it. Anyways, I just loved it being in the studio when you'd kind of glaze over, morph into Constable Bob and banging on the drum on Fridays. It's always a lot of fun. And of course, there was the legendary lunches that I was always participating in.
At the Cecil.
At the Cecil. Vancouver's
Little known
finest.
The LG Morning Zoo used to go to the strip club on Fridays.
Yeah, for our meetings, our weekly meetings. I never bought a beer. It was always great. I never bought a beer.
So all of our love. Have a great event. Yeah. We're thinking of you, and be well as we all get older.
Take care, Stu. Love ya. Happy 80th.
Bye-bye.
Happy birthday, Stu. I hope you're
Gonna have a good one. I can't tell you how great it was to get back in touch with you again after all those years. They asked me to share a story about you and I. That was a hard one to pick because there was a lot. Not all of them good. Not all of them suitable for family viewing either. But I got to say the one that comes to mind, and you probably know the one I'm going to tell, is when you and I were tasked with going out to represent the LG Morning Zoo at a children's pumpkin carving contest at Park Royal Mall in North Vancouver. And we decided, and we were supposed to be appearing there as our alter egos on the Morning Zoo, Barn and Constable Bob. But we decided it would be best if we went to one of the many strip bars that were around in Vancouver at that time. I think we probably, I don't know where we went, probably the Austin or something. First, before we showed up at the event, and of course we showed up at the event half cut, maybe a little more than half cut, and we had not come up with any idea for our own pumpkin for the carving contest. And I think we went to London Drugs or Shoppers or something like that. And I don't know, we came up with the brilliant idea that Mr. T would make a good Halloween pumpkin. And we got cotton batting and brown spray paint. And oh my God, looking back, I can see how this was probably the worst idea ever, not to mention probably it would be construed as incredibly racist. We didn't mean it that way. We were just drunk, and we thought it was funny. And so, yeah, there was kids there, and I believe that just as we were starting the carving, I slit my hand open, and there was a great deal. There was blood everywhere. We were terrifying parents and children alike. It was truly a new level of debauchery for even you and I. And I'm pretty sure they asked us to leave at some point, politely. You guys are good. Thanks for stopping by. There was little kids pointing and crying. Constable Bob and Barn were horrible people and made scary, scary pumpkins. They would have been right on both counts. I believe after that, we were not allowed to do anything representing the Mighty Moffat LG 73 Morning Zoo together for the remainder of my my time with the zoo. And yeah, that was just one of many stories. I can't begin to tell you what an incredible time in my life that was. And much of that was thanks to you. And most of the problems I got into in my life were no thanks to you. But anyways, buddy, happy birthday. I hope you have a good one.
Hello, Stu McAllister. I hear it's your birthday coming up. I was thinking about you the other day, and all I can think about is the fact that you didn't like the computer in the newsroom, so you wanted a Selectric typewriter. I suspect when you left LG 73 that you took the Selectric with you, and you probably still have it. Happy birthday, my friend.
My God, 80 years old. It's official. There is now dirt younger than Stu McAllister. Happy birthday, bud. I hope you're well. I hope your health is in good shape and that you enjoy your time. All the best.
Hey, Stu McAllister. I heard you're 80. That's awesome. 80? How'd that happen? Anyway, hope you have a great birthday. Lots of love. Lisa Offner here in Calgary. Take care.
So there's me,
I think it was Mr. Pratt, Carrie, Stu, decided we're going down to the Breakers one Sunday. I can't imagine why or for what for. There's a McDonald's in Tawasin, and we decide we're going into Mickey D's before we cross the border. In case they don't have any food down the States, you know. So we go in, and we're waiting in line, and we just smoked a fatty in the car on the way. Carrie and I noticed that the guy serving us in the line we were in, he looks just like Archie from the comic books. I mean, spitting image of Archie in the comic books. Stu's in front of us, and he gets up to the counter, and he looks at the guy, and he just starts laughing. I mean, he breaks out into hysterics. I thought he was going to puke on the floor in front of the guy. He was laughing so hard. He couldn't order. He had to leave the store. I don't know if you ever heard Stu laugh, but it was a brilliant laugh. Guess a couple of us got food, and we did get down south, but, I mean, Stu was a man among men. Happy 80th birthday, buddy. Rock on.
Hello. Yeah. McAllister? He's 80? Yeah, he won't remember me. But tell him happy birthday anyway. Okay, bye.
Is this recording? Stu, you crazy son of a bitch. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Stu! Happy birthday, Stu!
That's Karen. There's Karen right there.
Happy birthday to Stu!
Stu McAllister. Stu McAllister. You know, I keep a photo montage just above my desk, and I look at it often. It's an homage to the little people who helped me become the legendary Raccoon Carney. I know. Actually, it's there to remind me of just some of the amazing people I met during my radio life, and especially those 7 wonderful years in Vancouver. And yes, there you are, Stu, along with Casey and Rosie, Frank Thompson, and was it Brendan? Stu, it was a daily blast working with you. You put up with my shit. You laughed when you didn't have to. There was always this little joy zone around you. And you made us all better at what we do. Thanks very much for that, Stu. And yes, now you've outlived so many of the legends here on my montage wall. And why? I guess so we could come together on your 80th birthday and celebrate you. Thanks, Stu. Love you, buddy.
Happy birthday, Stu.
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 Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Stu.
Happy birthday, Stu.
Happy birthday, Stu.
Birthday.
Happy birthday, Stu.
Happy birthday, Stu.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday, Stu.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Stu.
birthday,
Happy
Stu.
birthday, Stu.
Happy birthday, Stu.
Happy birthday, Stu.
Happy birthday,
Happy
buddy.
birthday, Stu.
Happy birthday, Stu.
Happy birthday.
Happy 80th birthday.
I always wanted to be a pirate, but Mom said broadcasting had better dental.
I know what you're thinking. A pirate? Well, what else rhymes with me? Let's wake the dead. From the misty shores of Scotland, he first set sail with a mighty glove at shortstop and a sportsman's tail. Stu beat the drums like thunder, and he made the airwaves rock. Radio and TV and BC to taming the tide with Doc. From yarns told by Coach and Hardy, laughs from Constable Bob. You must be joking, matey, was this a real job? With Darlene at the helm and the compass straight and true. The finest old sea dog this side of Timbuktu. Hoist
Hoist-y-rum-me matey, 3 cheers for Stu, he's 80. He's got the wit, but not as quick, he's looking a little weighty. Hoist-y-rum-me matey, 3 cheers for Stu on matey. Give it up for me hearty, cause this is a party, and Stu, he just turned 80.